Good morning, one and all. This is a basic topic in electronic device and circuit, that is oscillators. As we know, the basic knowledge of amplifiers and also the basic knowledge of feedback, positive feedback and negative feedback. In the previous classes, we discussed about positive feedback, negative feedback, and what are the main advantages and disadvantages, and what are the applications of positive and negative feedback. So, the next topic is oscillator. The oscillator is an example for positive feedback application. As we have discussed about positive feedback, in that that principle is used in the oscillator circuits. So in this class, we are going to discuss about oscillators. In these oscillators, we are also going to discuss about the definition of oscillators and what are the conditions for oscillations to get oscillations. Next, the types of oscillators and advantages, disadvantages, and also applications. Here, definition of an oscillator. As we know, the basic definition of oscillator is without giving any input signal, this gives an output signal. Let us see how it will. Next, what are the conditions for an amplifier to work as an oscillator? So, why the oscillator is necessary? In the day-to-day life, as an engineer, that the diploma students and also engineering students will do more experiments in the laboratory. In that, the audio frequency oscillator, that frequency generator is there in our laboratory, so that gives output signal. So in that, the oscillator is necessary in many electronic applications, and electrical energy at a specific high frequency ranging from few hertz to several megahertz is required. This is obtained with the help of an electronic circuit or device is called oscillator. What obtained an electrical signal with several hertz to several megahertz. That signal will be obtained by using oscillator. These are also used in radios, that is FM radio and AM radio, and television and radar and other communication or digital electronic applications. We have so many applications. The oscillators are used in so many applications. These are some of the applications. First, let us discuss about the definition of an oscillator. An oscillator is an electronic circuit which converts DC energy into AC energy of required frequency. As we know, the frequency uh, from 0 hertz to several megahertz or gigahertz based on the application that can be uh, generated by using this oscillator. Again, let us read out. An oscillator is an electronic circuit which converts DC energy into AC energy of required frequency. One more definition is also there, that is a basic definition. An oscillator is an electronic circuit which produces AC output without any input. This is the basic definition of an oscillator. Understand here itself. An oscillator is an electronic circuit. It is a circuit which produces AC output. That is, AC means alternating current. AC output without any input, without giving any input. So, by using positive feedback technique, The oscillator will generate without giving output without giving any input signal. Next, the types of oscillators. So the types of oscillator is divided based on the waveform produced at the output oscillators are classified into two. Those are sinusoidal oscillators, means it generates sinusoidal signal. Sinusoidal means it is an alternating signal. Non-sinusoidal oscillators. Non-sinusoidal means other than the sinusoidal signal. The sinusoidal oscillators sinusoidal oscillator which generates sinusoidal as well as cosine, means sine wave as well as cos wave. As your mathematical equations consist of sine theta and cosine theta, these are the two signals which are generated by the sinusoidal oscillators. Another one, non-sinusoidal oscillators. Non-sinusoidal oscillators are some of the oscillators which are sweep circuits and relaxation oscillator. Relaxation means UJT. Sweep circuits are generate sawtooth waveform, of course. These are non-sinusoidal oscillators. Here again, sinusoidal oscillators, a static electronic device that produces sinusoidal oscillations of desired frequency is called sinusoidal oscillator. Here, static electronic device. It is a static electronic device which produces sinusoidal oscillations. As you know, the sinusoidal signal that crosses the horizontal line with an amplitude. So several times sinusoidally. This is sinusoidal oscillations of desired frequency, and here the time period must be same for all the cycles. For each cycle, whatever the time period is there, the same time period has to maintain till to infinite time, minus infinite to plus infinite. So this is called sinusoidal oscillations of desired frequency. If the time period is same, then the frequency must be uh, a single frequency. The desired frequency is called sinusoidal oscillator. Example for this, LC oscillators. LC, L means inductor, C means capacitor. So the circuits which consist of LC, those may generate sinusoidal oscillations. Next, RC phase shift oscillators. RC phase shift oscillator is also generates sinusoidal oscillations with desired frequency, etc. Next, as we discussed about amplifier. Amplifier as an oscillator. How the amplifier works as an oscillator? Let us see. Here it is a block diagram is given below, which shows the amplifier with positive feedback which works as an amplifier. Just now I told you that the oscillator works based on the principle of positive feedback, not negative feedback. Whereas the negative feedback may sometimes used in the amplifier circuits, but never used in the oscillator circuits. The oscillator circuit works based on the principle of positive feedback. Here is the block diagram given. The amplifier with as an oscillator. Here, as we know, amplifier circuit with feedback circuit. Here two blocks are given. Above block is amplifier and below block is feedback circuit. Of course, feedback amplifier. Amplifier gain is given as capital A. Feedback circuit gain is given as beta, and which are connected like this. Here, input side, V in is given, that maybe some voltage, input voltage, and V out is taken at the amplifier gain, that is output at the output terminals of the amplifier block. So V out is the output voltage which is measured from the oscillator circuit. In this below diagram, the two block amplifier block and feedback circuit block is connected like this. How the output terminals of the amplifier is feeding back to the feedback circuit, which is beta gain, connected like this. So the voltage, the output voltage is given to the feedback circuit as an input. That is, output of amplifier is again feeding back as the input signal through the feedback circuit, that is beta circuit. Here for the feedback circuit terminals, input is taken from the amplifier circuit, and that input depends on the feedback circuit network, so that will generate some output signal which is again feeding back to the input of amplifier. So that input now it is taken as V in. Here two alphabets are taken, Z and X. Let us see. We know that negative feedback is employed in the amplifiers for stability of the output. Generally, the amplifier circuits uh, considers the negative feedback in order to get stabilized output. For faithful amplification, generally negative feedback is taken, which produces the stabilized output. Here, whereas here means that is in oscillator circuit, here positive feedback is used to produce oscillations as shown in the previous block diagram. From that block diagram, from that circuit, it can be observed that the amplified signal available in the circuit is AV in. Amplified signal available in the circuit is AV in, that is voltage gain. The fraction of this signal, that is beta into AV in, is feedback to the input. The feedback signal beta AVN must be in phase with the input signal V in. This is called positive feedback. As we know, the positive feedback definition is the output signal of amplifier and the feedback signal both should be in phase. That is called positive feedback. Or the input signal to the amplifier and the feedback signal which is come from the feedback network must be in phase. That is called positive feedback. When both are in phase, the input signal must be added. Therefore, this added signal is given as input to the amplifier. Therefore, the output signal will be increases. This is the positive feedback signal, positive feedback technique. Now the circuit starts acting like an oscillator. As defined earlier, the circuit or block diagram can be shown producing an output without any input just by removing the input signal as shown in the next slide. Now assume that the above circuit is modified with the following conditions. That is, terminal Z is connected with X. Input signal V is now removed. Now the previous figure can be modified as follows as shown below. So this is the modified signal. In this block diagram, what we have done, that is Z and X both are connected. In the earlier block diagram, it was open circuit. Now it is closed. When it is closed, what will happen? The feedback circuit's output is now added with the input signal, or the feedback signal output signal now acts as the input to the amplifier circuit block amplifier block. Here actually what is going on? Amplifier output or the block of amplifier output is given as input to the feedback circuit. Means the output of the amplifier circuit is feeding back to the feedback circuit as an input. Now, based on the circuit developed in the feedback circuit or designed in the feedback circuit, depends on the feedback circuit. Now it is modified, and the output of feedback circuit signal is now acts as the input to the amplifier circuit. Means what is happening here? The positive feedback is employed. Therefore, the feedback output signal is added with the input of amplifier gain. Actually here amplifier circuit does not have any input signal. Therefore, if any noise or internally, the amplifier circuits consist of so many components like resistors and capacitors and inductors and transistors, so many. So these may be semiconductor made up of semiconductor materials or non-semiconductor materials, DC components simply, or AC components like capacitors and inductors. So these may generate some signal, internally generate some signal because of propagation delay, whatever it may be, or by applying a DC voltage to the amplifier circuit in order to stay the transistor in the active region, due to which the DC signal may be involved internally. So that DC signal now is called as noise. That noise is added with the feedback signal's output. Therefore, the summation of this feedback signal and noise signal, which is internally generated in the amplifier circuit, and this is acting as input to the amplifier circuit. So this amplifier circuit input signal may be amplified because of A gain, capital A gain, amplified, and now which is measured as V out across the output terminals of the amplifier. Now some amount of V out is acts as the feedback signal or input signal to the feedback circuit, that is beta. So that some portion of V out is acts as the input to the feedback circuit. Since it is having some gain beta, therefore this will be amplified beta times, and the output of feedback circuit is maybe beta times the input of the feedback circuit, and this beta times output signal is again act as the input to the amplifier circuit, and again this signal, this v beta v is now acts as the input to the amplifier, and again it increases. Since it is an amplifier, it increases a times. A beta is the output of across the amplifier output terminals. So this will be repeated several times to get faithful output signal. So this is the basic principle of oscillator circuit. So like this, without giving any input signal to the amplifier, also we are getting output because of positive feedback. Now here three cases of feedback are possible. Let us discuss them case by case. In case 1, if A beta, what is A and what is beta? A is the gain of the amplifier and beta is the gain of the feedback circuit. So the product of A beta, that is, if mod A beta, why we are taking mod? In order to get positive signal. So absolute signal. Mod A beta, the product of both the amplifiers gain, that is normal amplifier and feedback amplifier. The product of these two and absolute value is less than 1. What is 1? That is a unity. If A beta is less than 1, then the removal of input signal V in will result in increasing of oscillations. That is called damped oscillations. Sorry. The removal of input signal V in will result in ceasing of oscillations as per the closed loop transfer function given below. AF, where AF is equal to A by 1 plus A beta. In this, AF is the feedback signal gain or overall gain of the oscillator. AF is equal to A by 1 plus A beta, where A is the amplifier gain and beta is the gain of the feedback circuit. In this, if A beta is less than 1, what will happen? Less than 1 means maybe zero point 0.9. So the denominator now becomes 1 plus zero point 0.9, that is 1.9. This is greater than 1. 1.9 is greater than 1. Therefore, what will happen? AF is equal to A by 1.9. That the overall gain of the amplifier AF is less than previous gain, that is A, because A by 1.9. Since we are taken as product of A beta is less than 1, that is taken as zero point 0.9. So 1 plus zero point 0.9 becomes 1.9. A by 1.9, that is less than A. Therefore, product of A beta in the case 1, if A beta is less than 1, then what will happen? The removal of input signal V in will result in ceasing of oscillations. So slowly the damped oscillations. Here the output oscillations will slowly reduce in amplitude and finally died out like this. Initially the amplitude of the signal is more, slowly it will reduces, finally died out. So the signal won't appear. So this is not required as an uh, faithful amplification. This is not required. Therefore, here the output oscillations will slowly reduce in amplitude and finally died out. Such oscillator is of no use to any practical applications. Its waveform is shown in next slide. So this kind of oscillator is not required. Here what was the condition? Mod A beta, the product of A and beta is less than 1. If the product of A beta is less than 1, what will happen? The damped oscillations will appear. Means slowly the amplitude of the output signal will be reduces and it will die out. There will not be any output signal. Case 2. If product of A beta is greater than 1, what will happen? Let us see. In this case, for example, a 1 volt signal appearing initially at the input terminal, after a trip around the loop reappear as a still larger voltage than 1 volt. Let us see. This larger voltage then reappears as a still larger voltage and so on, building the oscillations with increase in its amplitude without limit as shown below. Like this. This is reversal of the previous case. Initially, the amplitude of the oscillator is low. By going on increasing this process, if the process is repeated, the oscillations amplitude will slowly increases further and further. So this is also not a faithful amplification output signal. Next, case 3. If product of A beta is equal to 1, then what will happen? In the equation AF is equal to A by 1 plus A beta. In this case, AF is equal to infinity. Infinity. The condition of unity loop gain A beta is equal to 1 is called Parkinson criteria. This condition implies that both A beta is equal to 1 and that the phase of minus A beta is 0. That is positive feedback. In the denominator 1 minus 1 that becomes 0. A by something A by 0 tends to infinity. Something by 0 tends to infinity. Therefore, AF is equal to infinity. This condition, which condition? A beta is equal to 1. This condition is called Parkinson criteria. This implies it gives a constant amplitude signal, output signal. In the above conditions, no change occurs at the output of an oscillator and we get output oscillations with constant amplitude as shown in the below figure. This oscillations is called undamped oscillations. In the first one, that is if A beta is less than 1, undamped oscillations we got. Next, A beta is greater than 1, underdamped oscillations. Now, here it is undamped oscillations. That is A beta is equal to 1. This condition is called Parkinson criteria. Thus, to obtain sustained, that is undamped oscillations, the loop gain must be 1. The loop gain A beta of positive feedback must be unity or 1. Therefore, now we can say that a positive feedback amplifier with unity gain acts as an oscillator. This is where very important point. A positive feedback amplifier with unity gain acts as an amplifier. However, for all practical purposes in the oscillators, loop gain, that is A beta, is always taken greater than unity and the output signal amplitude grows with time. But the nonlinearity of the device limits the buildup of the signal and steady state is attained in a short time. In steady state, the loop gain becomes unity and the oscillations are sustained. Till now, we have discussed about the definition of oscillator and the conditions for oscillations and block diagram of oscillator and Parkinson criteria. Next one, what are the essentials of an oscillator circuit and the types of oscillators? What are the essentials of an oscillator? As we have seen just now, the block diagram of oscillator. It consists of an oscillatory circuit and the transistor amplifier circuit, the feedback circuit. What are the requisites of an oscillator? This is the block diagram shows essential parts of an oscillator. What are the essential parts? Here three blocks are there. The first block, that is consists an oscillatory circuit. This is called tank circuit. This consists of LNC, the components of LNC network. This is called oscillatory circuit. Next, from which the output is goes to transistor amplifier. As we know, the transistor amplifier, what is the function of transistor amplifier? What does transistor amplifier? It increases the amplitude of the input signal. The basic function of amplifier is it strengthens the weak signal, means it increases the amplitude of the input signal. Next, from this amplifier output, this output signal is feeding back to the feedback circuit. That is, some portion of the output is feeding back to the feedback circuit. Again, based on the feedback network, it will do something on the input signal of the feedback circuit. Then it produces the output signal. This output signal is again feeding back to the oscillatory circuit, that is a tank circuit. Again, the tank circuit output is feeding back to the transistor amplifier, then feedback network, then oscillator circuit, then transistor amplifier. This repeats until the required frequency signal generates from the amplifier circuit. This is the basic requisites of an oscillator circuit. In order to develop a design an oscillator, these are the basic three things we need to develop. Let us discuss about the working of these blocks. First, oscillatory circuit. An oscillatory circuit contains inductive coil or inductor L and a capacitor C connected in parallel with each other. This is called tank circuit or simply oscillatory circuit. The frequency of oscillations depends upon the values of L and C. Its value is given as F, as we know. F, that is resonant frequency, Fr, is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root L C, the product of L and C. So here, based on the values of L and C, L is equal to some henries and C is equal to some farads or microfarads. Depends on the values of L and C. This will be calculated. At what value the resonance occurs, that frequency is required. This is the oscillatory circuit function. Next, transistor amplifier. A source of energy is required to compensate the losses in the oscillatory circuit. This is a big definition actually. The transistor amplifier circuit will perform increase in amplitude of input signal, that is called energy signal. That source of energy is the combination of a battery and the transistor working as an amplifier. Here, the battery is nothing but DC signal, DC voltage which we are applied to the transistor in order to keep the transistor in active region. The oscillators produced by the oscillatory circuit are fed at the input of amplifier. The amplifier amplifies these oscillations. This amplified output of oscillations is due to the DC power supplied by the battery, as I told in the uh, last 15 minutes back. So how the oscillations are generated actually? This is due to the DC power supply which is applied to the transistor in order to keep the transistor in the active region. Basically, this signal generally which is generating internally, that is called a noise. Due to noise, the oscillator gives the oscillations. Means noise becomes a signal. The output of the transistor thus obtained can now be supplied back to the oscillatory circuit to compensate the losses. Here, the output of the transistor thus obtained can now be supplied back to the oscillatory circuit to compensate the losses. Next circuit, that is feedback circuit. This circuit is used to feedback a fraction of amplifier output to the oscillatory circuit. What is the function of the feedback network? For the feedback network, the input signal is the output from the amplifier. So total signal will not be act as the input to the feedback network, but a fraction of output signal which is from the amplifier is act as the input to the feedback circuit. The phase of this feedback should be such that it aids the oscillations, that is positive feedback. Aids means adding. So the feedback signal and the input signal phase must be same, then only the signals will be added, therefore the output signal will be increases. Here, without giving input, how the signals is adding. So based on the positive feedback it is happens and compensate the losses. Next, conditions for oscillations. The following are the conditions or requisites of an oscillator to produce sustained oscillations with constant frequency. The amount of energy supplied to the feedback circuit should be such as to meet the losses in the feedback circuit. When a load is connected, it draws some energy from the feedback circuit. Therefore, equivalent additional energy has to be supplied to the feedback circuit. So generally, in order to measure the output signal, we need to connect a load across the output terminals, that is, across the amplifier, across the output terminals of the amplifier. We need to connect a load to measure the output signal. So it draws some energy. The load draws some energy from the feedback circuit. Therefore, equivalent additional energy has to be supplied to the feedback circuit. The applied energy should be in phase with the oscillations set up in the feedback circuit. The frequency of energy supplied to the feedback circuit should be same as that of oscillations produced by it. Here, this is very important. The loss of the signal across the load is compensated by the feedback network. This is one condition. Next one is the frequency of energy supplied to the feedback circuit should be same as that of oscillator produced by it. Then only the output signal generates with a single frequency. Next, classification of oscillators. So generally, the classification is based on the frequency of output signal. How the signal's frequency, what is the signal's frequency, what is the range of signal frequency, according to that the classification has done. If the frequency range is 0 Hz to 20 kilohertz or 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, that comes under AF oscillator. AF means audio frequency oscillator. Next, more than this, that is 20 kilohertz to 30 megahertz. 20 kilohertz to 30 megahertz. This frequency range comes under radio frequency oscillator. Next, if the frequency is greater than 30 megahertz, that is from 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. This is called as very high frequency oscillator. Next, if the frequency is greater than 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, that is UHF, ultra high frequency oscillators. If the frequency is greater than 3 gigahertz, that is called microwave oscillators, which are used for the mobile communication. So audio frequency oscillators, generally whatever the signal is audible to a human beings, that comes under audio frequency oscillator. That is the first one, the first classification, that is 20 Hz to 20 kHz, which is audible to human beings. 20 Hz to 20 kHz, that comes under audio frequency oscillator. So this is the signals generally we used to listen music, TV signals, mobile signals, and all those signals. Next, the microwave signals are used to transmit the mobile communication signals or to receive the mobile communication signals. Next classification of oscillator based on the auxiliary oscillatory circuit used, that is non-resonant oscillators, RC oscillators. RC means resistor and capacitor, the combination of resistor and capacitor network. The phase shift and Wien bridge oscillators. Resonant oscillators are generally consist of the resonant components, that is uh, L and C, inductor and capacitor. These are tuned collector, Hartley and Colpitts oscillators, and also crystal oscillators. So we have, according to our syllabus, we have only the resonant oscillators, that is Hartley, Colpitt and crystal oscillators. The remaining oscillators are not there in our syllabus. Most important one is applications of oscillator. The phase shift and Wien bridge oscillators, which are non-resonant, are used to generate audio frequency oscillate, audio frequencies. Next, tuned collector, Hartley and Colpitts oscillators are used to produce radio frequencies. Crystal oscillators are used where high frequency stability is required. Generally, the crystals are available now, Rochley salt, etc. These are used to generate very high frequency with high stability. So till now we discussed about what is feedback and the types of feedbacks, that is negative feedback and positive feedback. And next, definition of oscillator. Next, which kind of feedback is used in the oscillators, that is positive feedback. Next, the definition of oscillator and the types of oscillators, and what are the requisites in the oscillator. And next, based on the frequency and the circuitry, and the signal to be generated, types of classification of oscillators. And next, essentials of oscillators, in that the oscillatory circuit and transistor amplifier circuit and feedback network circuit, etc. And next, conditions for sustained oscillations. What are the conditions for sustained oscillations? How many cases are there? And next, classification based on the waveforms generated. And next, Classification based on the feedback used. These we have discussed. So, if any queries, please go through the book, that is Electronic Devices and Circuits. The standard book is Millman and Halkias. Next, the local author books are, so many local author books are there. So now the RGB publications is produced a new book according to our C18 syllabus. You can purchase it and you can use it. Any queries, please mail to me. My mail ID is naar37@gmail.com. Once again, naar37@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.